It is not very often that I actually feel sorry for someone in the mainstream media. Normally, in a video like this, where I'm talking about a massive decline in television ratings, I would be nominating the focus of the video for the upcoming second annual Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards. Normally, we have a good time here on the channel making fun of huge embarrassing failures. Over the years, we have shared a lot of laughs making fun of people like Bomani Jones, Jamel Hill, Caitlin Collins, Katie Roo! We have a good time teasing Fido, known to his employers at CNN as Wolf Blitzer. Woof, woof, woof! John Biden, the Yentas on The View. We even make fun of people I respect like Pat McAfee. It's rare. It is extremely rare for me to actually feel bad for someone in the mainstream media. But for some reason, I feel bad for Skip Bayless. I cannot kick this dude while he's down. Skip Bayless is responsible for revitalizing the media careers of Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe. He gave Jamel Hill a chance years ago to audition for First Take at ESPN. Now, to his credit, he realized that Smelly Jamelli was insufferable a full decade before everyone else did in the mainstream. Skip Bayless created the genre of sports debate on television. For 2 decades or so, Skip Bayless was at the pinnacle. And now, during the final days of his career in sports media, the creator of the genre, the man responsible for paving the way for so many others, it seems like he is being completely forgotten. Well, KC, how do you know these are the final days of Skip's career? You don't have insider knowledge. Yeah, that's true. I don't have contacts inside of Fox Sports. I don't have people feeding me inside information. But what I do have is common sense. What I do have is the ability to recognize when something is unsustainable. Skip Bayless anchoring the morning lineup at FS1, it is unsustainable for a variety of reasons. Number one, the shows in the morning lineup, they are crucially important for television networks. They set the tone, they build the audience that leads into shows for the rest of the day. Why do you think ESPN has Stephen A. Smith on at 9 o'clock in the morning instead of 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Why do you think MSNBC has Joe Scarborough on the air when you're drinking your morning coffee? Look at the broadcast networks. Biggest stars at NBC and ABC News, they are anchoring the morning shows. And reason number two that I am almost 100% certain that we are watching the final days of Skip Bayless's media career. Fox, they pay Skip Bayless $8 million a year. To my knowledge, Skip Bayless is the highest paid talent at the network. What are they getting in return for this $8 million annual investment? Outside of football season, March and April are usually 2 of the busiest months in sports television. March Madness in college basketball, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they were big business for content creators in the last 6, 7, maybe even 8 weeks. The chase for the playoffs in the final weeks of the NBA regular season, now we have the NBA playoffs. There's plenty of things to talk about. There is no excuse for not being able to draw decent ratings this time of year on sports television. How is Skip Bayless performing? During the month of March, Undisputed averaged 71,000 viewers. If you combine the audience for every show last month, Skip Bayless reached 643,000 viewers. 1 or 2 episodes of First Take, that equates to an entire month of Undisputed. The performance has been even worse during April, where Skip Bayless is averaging 65,000 viewers. Undisputed hasn't eclipsed 100,000 viewers since February 12th. The highest paid personality at the network, he ranks dead last at FS1. Skip Bayless is losing to something called America's Day at the Races. I would assume that is a NASCAR event, or maybe even a NASCAR show, or maybe it is a deep dive into mythical racism. Bassmaster Elite, a show following dudes around as they dip their pole into another man's pond. Big Ten softball, PBA bowling, United Football League, Colin Cowherd, Nikki Wright. Hell, Butt Bongo infomercials are beating Skip Bayless at this point in the ratings. So you tell me, how this is sustainable. You tell me how FS1 can continue to pay Skip Bayless $8 million when it takes him damn near the entire year to accumulate 8 million viewers. Did you know that Skip Bayless had a podcast and a YouTube channel? Well, Casey, of course I knew. Skip Bayless has 158,000 subscribers. He's a huge success. His channel's doing great. Yeah, when he launched 2 or 3 years ago, Skip Bayless was doing great. 2 or 3 years ago, Skip Bayless was pulling millions of views every month on YouTube. Today, his channel is barely clinging to life support. According to Social Blade, Skip Bayless averages less than 250,000 views each month on YouTube. For comparison purposes, the channel you're watching right now averages 350 to 400,000 views every week. How is this possible? How can Captain Dumbass, who is sitting in his backyard studio, be outperforming one of the pioneers in sports media? If you believe the analytics provided by Social Blade, Skip Bayless, he has failed to add a single new subscriber in the last 60 to 90 days. His channel is losing subscribers even though he uploads new content almost on a daily basis. How did we get here? In the span of 12 months, how did Skip Bayless go from generating headlines in the media? How did he go from 200,000 viewers on FS1? How did he go from performing well on YouTube to being completely irrelevant and almost forgotten? The vast majority of people, they are going to claim that the beginning of the end for the career of Skip Bayless started with the departure of Shannon Sharpe. Hey, it's me, Shay Shay! I understand why people would believe this. I think Skip Bayless underestimated the drawing power of the grown man who calls himself Shay. Hell, to be perfectly honest with you, so did I. I had no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I was wrong about Shay Shay. However, in my defense, Shannon Sharpe was not some big star. Shannon Sharpe wasn't the star that he is today when he was enjoying a life of wedded bliss with Skippy. Shay Shay's star didn't rise until he filed for divorce. Do you remember the narrative surrounding the divorce between Shay and Bay? Do you remember how Shay in the mainstream media portrayed this story? Skip Bayless was portrayed as the overbearing, verbally abusive partner, and Shannon Sharpe was portrayed as the ultimate victim. As soon as Shay achieved victim status, he became a sympathetic figure in the mainstream media. As you guys know, the media, they love an ultimate victim, especially when the victim belongs to what the media calls a marginalized group. So, I understand why people would think the departure of Shannon Sharpe was the beginning of the end for Skip Bayless. And to be fair, that's definitely a part of it, but I think the real beginning of the end was last September. Last September, Shannon Sharpe, he accepted the proposal of Stephen A. Smith and they began their holy union on First Take. During the month of September, Shay and A, they seem to be on this mission to destroy the reputation and credibility of Skip Bayless. Shay would go on Stephen A's YouTube channel and trash Skip. Stephen A would go on Shay's YouTube channel and they would talk shit about Skip Bayless. All the while, for reasons unknown, Skip Bayless, he chose to exercise his right to remain silent. Why? I have no idea. I guess Skip thought he was taking the high road. I guess he thought he was being the better man. Those platitudes, they sound really good when you're lying to yourself. Right now, my Pelicans are doing the same thing in their first round series against the group of actors in Oklahoma City. The Thunder, they have been highly trained in the art of flopping. Every time SGA has the ball, he seizes the opportunity to violently throw his head back like he is suffering through a seizure caused by symptoms of OMB. Orange Man bad! Oklahoma City, they are pushing the Pelicans around. NBA officials, they are allowing them to play physical defense while the Pels, they are being called for touch fouls. And what are the Pelicans doing about it? Absolutely nothing. They are taking the high road. They are claiming to play the game of basketball the right way. Yeah, the right way. It will have your ass bounce from the playoffs here in about 96 hours. Now, just to be clear, I am not saying the officiating is the reasons the Pels are down 0-2 in this series. New Orleans, they failed to show up last night. What I am saying is there are things they can control. There are ways they can respond, and the Pelicans are not doing those things because they're taking the high road. Same thing with Skip Bayless. Shay and A were destroying his credibility. They were ruining his reputation, and Skip Bayless refused to put up a fight. As a result, Skip Bayless not only lost respect, people were only given one side of the story. And something else happened as a result of this, and this is pure speculation on my part, but I think the attacks from Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe, along with the onslaught of criticism from the DeMar Hamlin situation last January, I think it scared Skip Bayless into silence. I think it neutered him. Over the past few weeks, I have been watching clips of Undisputed. Reason being, Skip Bayless knows a hell of a lot more about the NBA than both Shay and A combined. Skip actually watches the NBA. Shannon Sharpe only watches the Lakers and his Billy Goat James, and Stephen A. Smith only watches... Hell, I don't know what Stephen A. is watching, but it damn sure ain't the NBA. For all I know, he's watching all those girly shows on Bravo like Vanderpump the Woke Wiener. Over the last few weeks, though, as I've been watching Undisputed, I have noticed a significant change in the demeanor of Skip Bayless. Matter of fact, I no longer recognize Skip Bayless. This dude looks defeated. He used to be relentless with his criticism. He was never afraid to criticize athletes. For decades, Skip Bayless was fearless. Today, he looks scared. He looks frightened. And I'm wondering if this fear is coming from a place where Skip Bayless is afraid of being accused of being a racist. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but there's been a massive transformation in Skip Bayless in the last 12 months, and I don't think it's for the better. This dude is a shell of his former self. The other day, I'm watching Keyshawn Johnson talking about the NBA while having absolutely no idea what he's talking about. 2 or 3 years ago, Skip Bayless would have absolutely destroyed him. Now, he just sits there silently. From what I can tell, Skip Bayless's contract with Fox Sports, it expires at the end of this year. His ratings are already in the pooper during the busiest times of year. This summer, ratings for Undisputed, they could decline to the point where they are too low to be measured. I believe we are going to see an announcement this fall where this will be the final football season for Skip Bayless and he will disappear from the mainstream. Unlike Dan Le Batard or Bill Simmons, Skip Bayless, he doesn't have another platform to fall back on, and at his age, it's probably not even worth it. But give me your thoughts. More than likely, we are witnessing the last days of the media career of Skip Bayless. What was the turning point? What was the beginning of the end? Was it the departure of Shannon Sharpe, or was it Skip Bayless refusing to fight, refusing to defend himself against the attacks of Shay and A? Or maybe you know of a reason that I haven't thought of. What about his legacy, though? What is going to be the legacy of Skip Bayless? You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter, and I'll see you guys later.